Good morning. It's a Monday here. We're trying to figure out what we're going to do for the day. I've got lots of beans that need treated this morning, so I think I'm going to go down and work on that. Our tractor is done up at the John Deere dealer, so we could run up there and try and get that today if we get a chance. I don't know if we will or not. We do have the shop empty, so if we needed to bring something in here, we certainly could. I think Xander will be here in a little bit. We got some bowls for the corn planter that need to be cleaned up and sprayed some graphite on, so a few things to do, but that won't keep us busy for long. How's your brackets doing now? We're through to the Sweet 16, and my brackets are not great. My son Brayson has the best one of all of the ones that are under my account. But a few people doing pretty well in the tournament bracket group over on ESPN there. So we'll see how the rest of it goes. Big Ten looking good. Got 6 teams into the Sweet 16. That's pretty good. That's really good. So hopefully my Sparties keep playing well and can get a win over UConn and keep moving this week. We are also still working on our dike out here and trying to get everything replumbed. Dad got our motor here mounted, so that should work really well. We just got to figure out where we're going to anchor all the rest of this stuff, make sure it's exactly where we want it, and I need a few more fittings and stuff to be able to finish connecting our hoses, but yeah, it's coming. Looks good. Alright, I get a list of all the rest of the stuff that we need. That's quite a list. I didn't figure in any of the small hose and stuff to hook this to our totes before when I was getting parts. I was just kind of connecting to that basically. So I only need a couple of things for in there. The rest of it is all small stuff for connecting our totes to our chemical induction stack there, and then connecting those two things together, which, speaking of our handler, as a few of you pointed out in the last video, I had this thing backwards. I was looking at it wrong. I don't know why, just because it fit what I was trying to do better, going the opposite direction than it does now. But this is our inlet over here, and that is the outlet, not the other way around like I thought. So we turned it, which is fine. So we're going to come in here off of our pump, and then this will be our hose going out to our sprayer. The problem with having it sitting like that is that this needs to connect to that, and the totes are all going over there, so it's kind of backwards. So we're going to try and relocate this. Really, we don't even need that valve in there because we have this valve right here, and there's a valve on both ends, so we'll see. This is on a manifold, though. We can turn that and kind of come out around the other way. Same thing with the little line down there. That's the rinse line. We actually could hook it to that bracket on the other side so it sticks out the other way. So we're just going to modify some of that a little bit to make it hook up better. And this valve here is going to need to be rotated and turned the other direction for us. It'll work just fine. It's just a matter of getting it all situated for what we're trying to do. Shifting gears here a little bit, we need to treat some beans today. So I gotta make a list and figure out what all we're gonna do. We are gonna start running some saltro, which we have not used yet this year. So that'll be something just a little bit addition to what we've been doing. But yeah, we gotta get all of this week's seed delivery stuff ready to go here. iPad's in the truck. I gotta go grab that. I've got a list of customers that we were going to try and deliver to, and then we'll start making some seed deliveries probably tomorrow. I'm starting to get stuff figured out what we need here, and mixing some stuff up. So we're pulling out of this keg here. I had pulled 5 gallons out of this keg. 5 gallons exactly. I know because I measured it, because we were mixing our free flow in. And I still have quite a bit of this. I got a whole other jug in here yet. So we're going to use some more of it. I'm going to pre-blend it into here. So I know that we took 5 gallons out, which means there's 10 gallons left. 10 gallons will treat 660 units. You divide that by 4 at a 1/4 ounce of this per unit. And that gives me like 162 ounces, 167 ounces, something like that. So we're going to measure it out. And you can actually take these valves out, and we can pour it right in there and agitate it and kind of have it all pre-mixed. That way I don't have to measure it all going into there, which makes this easier. It was a gallon plus 37 ounces. So we got that poured in there. Almost got that jug empty. Now we're going to put this back on. And we'll let that recirculate and agitate again. In a case of near instant regret, so instant that it happens before I even open the box, we're going to put glitter on these beans, or at least some of these beans. This is called pearlbrite. It is a dry seed finisher, and you can see just opening the box how glitter gets everywhere. It adds a nice shiny coating to them, and it does. It's good at that. It is titanium dioxide, 100%. It's nothing dangerous. In fact, it's used in food, candy, quite a bit. Not that I want to eat it, but it's a very, very fine powder, and it just goes everywhere. So that goes in this up here, and we add it in to help dry the beans and make them look good, look pretty, whatever. These are going to be sort of wet with the free flow additive polymer, and we're going to be putting saltro on, and some of them are getting inoculant, not inoculant and saltro, different ones, but I figured this wouldn't hurt. Before I dumped that bag of glitter, I decided to get my air filter up and running, so sorry about that. I made this a year ago. I took the black fan there, and I took 4 furnace air filters and taped them into a square, and I just had it sitting on the floor, open on the bottom, and those filters got really dirty. Like, it clearly worked, did a good job. So I changed the filters, and I decided to add a second fan and hang it right here. So hopefully it just sucks all the glitter dust right over to it. I don't know. We'll see how it works. It doesn't hurt, I know that, and the filters will get dirty. So, all right, let's cut this bag open and dump it in there. Make these hoppers just small enough that you can't fill a whole bag of it. So I just kind of get it in there, hold the bag up slightly so it doesn't get caught in the rotator on the bottom. We'll just let that sit there until we use some of it up. Can you see the glitter floating in the air? Probably not. I decided to do a little cleanup before we get started here. You get a little a little buildup in this atomizer chamber here over time, and it's a good idea to just scrape it out and clean everything off every now and then. Start of the week, good time to do it. Okay, we've got our inoculant loaded up and recirculating to keep it mixed. We've got our free flow and apex in this tank from our premixed shuttle there. So that is good and recirculating and mixing. We need some beans. We've got 26 boxes to treat here today. Plus we have those 16 that came on Friday or Thursday or whenever it was that need to be done. But we're not gonna not do those today. So we're gonna start with the straight apex ones, or apex and exceed. We'll finish with the saltros. So we'll make a list here, or we've got a list. We'll figure out which order we want to go in. We need, looks like 5 boxes of 2292s. Let's start with, let's do this one and this one first. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. We're gonna do the 2674s in the middle because we've got all 3 treatments of those, and we can add the saltro in. So yeah, okay. The exceed and the apex doesn't matter because they're in separate tanks, so you just turn the pump on and off. So we can do those in any order. Let's start with these 4 boxes of 3035s, and we'll work to the early beans. First box, finally. That one took a little while. I grabbed 4 boxes out, and turns out that I only had 3 of the one lot number and 1 of another, so I had to put those 3 back and get 3 of the other ones. These are big beans though, so it's okay. Can you tell that they're shinier? They're shinier. They look pretty good, actually. Okay. Well, we'll run these 4, and now we're moving. Things go faster. Real shiny beans. Camera doesn't do it justice. Like, you can see certain ones are brighter than others, but they all kind of look that way in real life. So actually probably got a little more glitter on than we need to. Could turn it down. That's box number 6. I was able to get our bag out of our dry apple additive feeder there, so we're getting that stuff used up a little bit. All right, we got 1 more box of these, and then we need to turn on the inoculant pump. All right, we're on to the inoculant treated beans now, so I have turned the pearlbrite off. I don't like using the dry powders with the inoculant. I don't know if it has any effect on it, but the inoculant is a live biological. It's a bacteria, and I've at least heard theories, whether or not it's true, that the dry finishers or talc can dry those inoculant out and reduce their live strain counts. And I don't want to do that. And since the glitter isn't really doing anything for us other than making them look pretty, we don't need that. I would rather performance over looks. So we shut it off. We'll run these 3 boxes, and then it's lunchtime. I'm going to go eat lunch. That'll be 10. I got 16 more to try and get done today. But we'll get them, no problem. Came over to look at some of these first ones we did. I'm curious if the dry has made them less bridgy. Yeah, they're still standing up a little bit. Yeah, I don't know if it made much difference. I sure wish I could find my old box opener. This one's done about 25 boxes. Can you guys see how bent that is? No good. Very poor redesign. Anyway, we got the next 6 boxes out. And I think these are all the same. These are all no inoculant, just the Apex. So they'll go fast. Xander should be down here pretty quick. I was going to have him help me opening lids, tagging boxes, and doing all that stuff. I was pulling my samples. I don't know if this shows up on the camera real well, but these are the glitter treated beans, and these are the non-glittery beans. Probably shows up better real close like that. Yeah. Coverage is good on both, but those are shinier. Okay, we got the next 6 done. So what's that? 6 and 6 is 12, and 4 is 16. And we've got the next 10 boxes out. I added 4 more to what we're going to treat because, well, I figured they needed to be done, or I found some that I'm like, oh, hey, we should do those too. Anyway, the keg that we emptied our free flow into this morning is empty. There's just a little bit left in the treater, but we need to get the next keg mixing up. So we're going to go ahead and tap that. Get my side cuts. Let's see if these work. These ones are Walmart special that do not cut very good. If you find just the right spot in the blade, sometimes you can get them to cut. Otherwise, we'll go get my other good pair. Yeah. Hold on. The channel locks, side cuts, actually cut. Okay, pull that. Pull that out of there, and then we pop our caps off. And these are supposed to be dripless connections here. I don't know if they're actually dripless all the time. This one does pretty good. It's the other one. So that one's attached to a draw tube. That's the suction line. This one is the return. And now we turn this valve that way, turn our pump on, pulls it out, pumps it right back in. Agitation. These 10 boxes here are our little itty bitty beans, and we've got that free flow plus the inoculant on these first 2 boxes, so they're gonna come out a little wet, I think. We'll watch them here, but I think it should be okay. Should have just about the right amount of inoculant in there. That should be 2 boxes worth. Again, we'll watch that too. Yeah, I did some math on our slurry load here, and without any water, we're already putting on 8.23 fluid ounces per hundredweight here. The range is 6 to 8, so we're on the high side with no water in it. They look really good though. They're shiny because they're wet. That's not the glitter. We got the 2 boxes with inoculant done. We're back to straight Apex and water. I'm going to turn this up a little bit, but not much because these are still really tiny beans. And I turned the glitter back on. No inoculant on these. We're out of the free flow that I had mixed up, so we're not using any more of that, so just straight Apex. Adjust, come on. They're sitting close. Had to bring the rate down in ounces per minute because of not having that free flow in there. So instead of a 2.2 ounce per unit, we're at 1.95. Okay, so that is good. I did make a little bit of a mistake because I pumped a bunch of cruiser into that tank thinking I got a bunch of boxes to treat yet. Problem is, we've only got, I think, 6 boxes to treat, and then we need saltro. And I blend the saltro and the Apex, so they have to be measured out once we get to that point. So, oh well, I can take it out of there. It's not a big deal. Xander's been labeling boxes and putting lids on. Now he's zip tying those first 2 rows down. Those are the ones we did this morning, so they're drier. I gotta start putting them over here. I dug out those 3 and that 1 that were over here. Those are actually Extend Flex beans. Those are all getting saltro. We're gonna do those at the end. But I didn't want to bury them, so we dug those out, and then we got these last ones to treat, and then those 4. We really peeled this row back, took 10 boxes out of there, and it moved it quite a bit. Starting to look like we're getting towards the end here. We're not, but it's starting to look that way, which is good, because it is the end of March. We have an XPO delivery driver here. I think it's one of my source from Sound Ag. Let's see. Hurry up, bud. It's snowing out, and I got the door open. Anyway, we didn't do that bad. There's a little bit left in there. We'll have to drain out and measure now. We're to the point where we need to mix up our saltro. So we're doing saltro for 6 boxes. That's what we've got left to do here. I was doing some math on it. So the saltro is 28.56 ounces per box. Apex is 78. I actually have these recipes here. So for 6 boxes, we need 171 ounces of saltro, 468 ounces of Apex. That's 3 gallons and 84 ounces, 1 and 43 ounces for easy measuring. So we might even throw some free flow in with this stuff because we can. And I'm measuring anyway. We might as well measure that out too. So let's go ahead and get her going. Just shy of 1 box left in there. 78. I got what? 74, 72. Okay. We'll make that the 84 and we'll pour it back in, and then we'll measure out 3 more, and then we'll get our saltro. I hope there's a gallon in that jug yet. Otherwise I gotta tap the keg, which is fine, but I'll have to go get another chemical pump. I have another one. It's down at the farm. Made it with just a little tiny bit to spare. That jug's left over from last year, but this is not a biological. It keeps just fine, so... Alright, we'll get that poured in there. We are running a calibration here, so Xander's catching it for me. We'll see what it says it's got in there once it's done. So it runs for, well, this one's going to run for 60 seconds, I guess. Should have about 60 ounces. Ooh, that pitcher's going to be full. High rates here with the saltro and the free flow in there. The free flow doesn't add much, but... Okay. Well, we'll see where we're at and get that dialed in, and then we're ready to go. my computer has a fancy new glitter finish on it today. Fun. Nope. Okay. What do we got? It's right there. 56, 7, 8, 9, 60. We're right on it. I'm going to call that 60. What is it supposed to have? 59.55. That's pretty darn close. It's pretty darn close. Let me let it settle for a second and see if we're below the line or above the line. It's right on the line. It's not above it. It's more than halfway between them, though. We're going to call it even. So, cal tube was 60. Update the ratio. Do it again. One last box to do. That's the only one of that variety that I have. That's the only one I have. Not just today to treat. That's the only box. So it's a single box run here, but we'll get that one done. It goes with these other 3 boxes that we're doing. And then we finish putting lids on, getting samples taken, and start stacking them up into some sort of organization to tell me where they're going for this week. So everything that we treated today, I hope to have out of here by the end of the week. If not that, plus some. And then we still need to treat that pile sometime between now and next Monday. Well, there. That's a pretty good day. 1,240 units, 31 boxes. And I can't even tell you how many different batches and lot numbers and all that kind of stuff. So the little treater does pretty good. It's not a drum treater. I'm not trying to do 5,000 units in a day. If I can do 1,000 in a day, I'm having a really good day. And we did that. So we'll finish getting these cleaned up and put away here. And maybe I should make some phone calls, figure out where we're going to go tomorrow. That XPO truck earlier was my source, my Sound Ag order here. This is for our farm and a couple of customers, one or two customers. I'm not sure if everybody's came here or if there was some direct ship stuff. So we'll talk about this some other time on what it is and stuff. If you're familiar with it and it's something you want to try, let me know. Turns out I can sell it anywhere in the country and have it direct shipped. So, you know, I'll hook you up. You would hook me up a little bit. So, yeah, I think it works. Good stuff. Nitrogen's gotten really expensive. If we can cut our nitrogen a little bit using this, that saves us money. Got them all stacked up here and kind of organized by where they go. So those 2 piles or 2 stacks are leaving tomorrow morning, along with 3 boxes of corn that we got to dig out. Those 2 actually go to a customer of mine that picks them up from my Berkey farm, so those got to go to Berkey. These 8 here, guy brings his wagon and we dump them right in, so he's going to come pick those up. I'll text him maybe tomorrow. This last row and this row, I think the guy that I sell for or with is going, or the warehouse for, is going to take those himself. And then these 2, he might take those as well towards the end of the week. So that's it. So I really don't have that much deliveries to do this week. Yeah, we'll see. We might pick some more stuff out, some of my customers, to get out of here while we're working on stuff. But anyway, I'm going to head back to the farm for a little bit and wrap things up. Dad's working on our... He's working on his steps out there by the chemical stuff, so I'll show you that tomorrow. But anyway, not much going on here today. We're gonna make some deliveries tomorrow, and we'll try and work on that dike some more. Hopefully I'll get my parts and stuff that I ordered this morning, and we'll go from there. So thanks for watching today. We got a lot of beans treated. It was a good day. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.